I'm going to walk you through the Buncee activity that students would do. This lesson is called Let's Talk About Multiplication. The goal is for students to explain their math process and gain a visual understanding of math solutions. Specifically, this is all about 1 and 2 digit multiplication. I do want to mention that this whole lesson is really based off of the research done by Joel Bowler and the resources that are provided on the UCubed website. So Joel Bowler has published a lot of research on number sense and how math facts are traditionally taught. You can read some of that here. As the teacher, you will be provided links to all of these resources in this Buncee lesson. The tasks and all the wrap-up assessments that are part of this Buncee lesson require students to share the process by which they arrive at their math solution. They are asked to create video responses and they're asked to draw visual representations. They're asked to reflect on their answer after viewing how other students from Stanford University actually solve the same problem that they solved. They're then asked to talk about how other solutions changed their thinking. They are also asked to do a task where they have to visually model some traditional multiplication facts, and that is what Joel Bowler has published in a resource called Math Cards. So again, all of these links are provided with Joel Bowler's original research, and these are resources that were made available through UCube that I've kind of put into a lesson here on Buncee that students can do. As an introduction, students will read that math is not about scribbling formulas and memorizing multiplication tables. Math is about seeing and understanding what these problems are saying, and that's what this Buncee lesson is all about. So task number 1 will be, without using a pencil and paper, your task is to solve 18 times 5. Add a video response to this slide explaining exactly how you come up with your answer. So students would hit the plus sign here and then choose the record option. They'll have to allow their webcam, and here is where they will just hit the start recording to record their solution to 18 times 5. So here I'll talk about my solution, finish my recording, and then I will just submit the video. The next slide will ask them, use the drawing tool to create a visual representation of the solution you just came up with in the last slide. Remember, the problem was to solve 18 times 5. So here, they would use the drawing tool. They can adjust the pen size here. They can choose a color here. And they would do some type of visual representation of 18 times 5. Obviously, I'm not done with that, but when they are, they can move on to the next slide. In this slide, students will be able to hear a sample solution from some students at Stanford University. In order to view this video, they will need to press the view button, and then they can play the video.
So one of the best ways to teach number sense is a pedagogical strategy that's been really growing over recent years.
Because 18 over 2 is 8 times 10. I mean 9. It's 18 over 2 is 9 times 10.
Well, to do it quickly, I separated it into 10 and 8. So 5 times 10 is easy, that's 50, and then 5 times 8 is 40, and they just add them together.
After they watch the video, they can go back into edit mode to continue with the lesson. They'll then see a reflection question. First of all, we just want to make them very proud that they were able to solve a problem that Stanford University students had to think about. So after that, they will be asked if their thought process has changed at all after watching the video, if they've learned anything new from the video response, if anything was confusing. And to fill out the slide, they will again have to view so that they can type in their response, and then go to the next slide. Here, visualizing math solutions. Math is a very visual language. Once you begin to see it, you truly begin to understand it. So now they will be working on visualizing some multiplication concepts. Here is a visual representation of the number 36, and so they'll see an example of what they're going to be doing on the next slide. Here, their task is to fill in the right column of the chart with images to show two numbers that can be multiplied to come up with the number on the left. So here, their goal is to make 63. So they'll have to go into edit mode to perform this task again. So if they're confused, they can go back and see what this looked like there. So now I want to do 63, which might be 7 times 9, I'm thinking. So I see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to use this one. And I need 7 of them. So they're told to use the duplicate option. So that's how they know what to do. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. And that is 63. The next two tasks are the same, except doing it with 42 and then with 32. And then their final wrap-up assessment is to create 2 video responses on this slide. In the first video, which they'll insert right here, they'll talk about what they enjoyed in this activity. And in the second video, which they'll insert right here, they'll talk about how this activity has made them think about multiplication problems differently, hopefully in a more visual way. So again, to insert the video, they would just click here, click on record, start their recording, and when they're done, they would just insert it. And that would be it for their multiplication Buncee activity.